Welcome back into Off Track, folks. Let's hope and pray we got all our technical stuff and junk out of the way, under the bridge, out to sea. Welcome in the one and only Off the Top Rope. Coming in at a hot 197. No, I don't know. Dude, I don't know what you weigh. Rocci Stucci in the house. How are you, brother?
Dude, I'm going to go 230 pounds. I'm feeling pretty confident about that. But let me say, dude, I used to weigh 300 pounds. We were just talking about that.
No.
Yeah, dude. I had to bring this sexy back, so I started doing like 3 push-ups a day.
Three push-ups. 300 pounds?
I was
3 push-ups. That'll do the trick.
Damn it, son. I've never.
You use these for the push-ups?
Well, me and Lisa have those, but we don't use them for push-ups.
Oh my.
Wow. Sorry,
no.
See, I'm getting irritated. Look at Rusty.
Look at the heavyweight coming in 300 pounds now. And dude, I've only been 265. I'm only 255 now, so I need to lose some
weight. Dude, I used to wear a 44 waist.
What are you eating? Cows?
Oh, you know what? What? Wait, what?
No. No.
I'm here, folks.
He's eating meatballs. That's the answer.
What's wrong with a 44 waist?
Shut up.
No, I was complimenting it. I was going to say how sexy a 44 waist is. What?
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
Are you on top of the world up in Minnesota, or is it on fire?
Both. I guess that's the best way to put it. I'm always on top of the world because I will accept nothing less than that. And we're on fire, bro. We are on fire, and I'm just going to say this on a very serious note that my heart is broke.
Right.
My heart is angered. I'm pissed. I'm sad. I mean, you want to talk about a flux of mixed emotions in this one. You know, lots of times in history, and I'm going to say it, and this is the part that is really frustrating me when it comes to society, is that we become a society of cowards. We've become to a point to where we're so afraid to speak our mind in regards to certain events because we have these psychotic individuals that like to attack you for your opinion as if their opinion is the almighty truth. You get what I'm saying?
Yes. And I believe that a friend of mine asked me, we talk about human nature a lot. And he was asking why people are always apologizing. Well, women I know do it a lot, like we're sorry for everything. But I think that our culture is perpetuating it now. We always have to apologize for even saying the wrong thing, thinking the wrong thing, and offending somebody.
I got to throw this in here real quick, though, because I'm looking at this. I agree with what you guys are saying here, by the way, but I want to preface this by saying I've been known to, in the past, force my opinions, and that doesn't work out so well either. I don't think it's a good thing. I mean, look, you can put your opinion out there, and if they don't take it, they don't jump on it, they don't like it, fine. But there's a balance, right?
So here's the thing, brother, is that, I feel this. If we see, here's the difference. And this is here. Let me start with this. I had a very long time friend get a hold of me yesterday. Oh God, dude, I can feel my veins coming out of my face right now. And she sent me a message speaking her disgust because of the fact that I used the term terrorism in regards to what's going on here in the Twin Cities. And because she's very singular in her thinking. She's a white woman, and all cops are bad. All black people get killed by cops. That is her reality. That is her world. And, and I just told her, I was just like, listen, I go, if you look up the definition of terrorism and you go walk down the Twin Cities, you guys have seen pictures that I posted on social media. Mm-hmm. There are parts of Minneapolis and St. Paul that are burnt to a crisp. They are burnt to a crisp. There are innocent black people and innocent white people that are being beat to a pulp that have nothing to do with what's going on. That, ladies and gentlemen, I don't give a rat's ass, is an act of terrorism. You are creating here because you have a political motive or a societal motive, and you are endangering innocent people. I got something to tell some people. The Constitution gives you the right to protest, but it does not give you the right to create chaos. So get up off your asses and start doing your homework.
What is her definition of terrorism? If what's going on in the Twin Cities isn't, what is?
Melissa, here's the thing. is that there are people here and across the country, as you guys are just as informed as anybody else, is that people are justifying burning down a city because they feel that every police officer wakes up every single day to go kill black people. That is their view. I don't think there's anybody in this conversation right now that will say that what that officer did was right. I don't
know it's not right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anybody that's going to say that he does not deserve to go to prison, because he does.
Right.
They ruined it for themselves. They ruined it for themselves.
What you said the other night was really, really well said.
Yeah.
Everybody was on board with this
sir.
cop did something wrong. Everybody.
Right.
Other cops were speaking out against it. Blacks were speaking out against it. Whites were speaking out against it. Every measure of the spectrum was speaking out against it. Nobody had this guy's back. What he did was just flat wrong.
Yep.
The president said so. But then they go too far.
That's it. The problem is that, and you know what? We've talked about this with all the recent, I don't want to call it a protest, the riots that we've had here in probably the last decade, is that we know what, and this is my point, and this was my point to this girl, is that what I'm proud about, something that I can do, and I take a lot of pride in this, is that I am willing and open-minded enough to listen to all stories, to all ends, to all arguments, to everybody's opinion. And here it is. I won't attack you. I don't have the moral right to come and tell you you're wrong, because you know what? This is an opinion. That's what an opinion is. And whether I agree or disagree with it. But I take a lot of pride in the fact that I can explore all the possibilities and see the broader picture, because we failed. We failed ourselves in this one. Like you were just saying, Chris, with the post the other day, you had not just the entire country, you had the entire world supporting you on this. We could have created damn good reform and came up with solutions if people would have kept their head. But the problem is, just like all of the riots, is there are agent provocateurs. And there are people, white and black, that are just looking for a reason to create anarchy, to create chaos. They don't care what the cause is. They just want to burn shit down.
That's their way of having control, of like feeling more important than what their measly little lives have become.
You know, think about this, brother. You know, everybody kind of gives me a hard time because they say I'm a conspiracy guy. I'm not. I'm a conspiracy guy when it comes to authentic conspiracies against human beings, right? You know, people ever jumped in the rabbit hole of the things I explored that the CIA have done, that the psychological industry have done. That's not a conspiracy theory. I mean, there has been some horseshit things done to human beings in the name of science and governments and politics and corporations. And, you know, when we're looking at this situation now, we have thousands of people across the country right now. And some of the videos that I'm witnessing are absolutely horrifying. But there are also videos out there that are making my heart melt, like that picture I posted today of the black guy hugging the white cop. That's what it's about, dude, because you know what? That minority of people out there creating chaos does not represent everybody. I mean, there have been peaceful, beautiful protests here in the Twin Cities. It just gets overshadowed by the radicalism. But when we're looking at a people, a civilian population of people that believe that they are fighting an oppressive government, well, they just gave that oppressive government that much more ammunition to continue the oppression and suppression of their voices and their daily activity. Because when we looked at, this is the worst riot that Minneapolis has ever seen. We have never seen anything like this before. And, you know, what are they going to do? They're going to do the same thing as they did with the Patriot Act. Look at the things they started with the coronavirus, with the tracking systems, with the cell phones, with the monitoring of human movement. We just amplified that even more. Now they're going to be doing facial recognition We're going to turn into China version 2 is what we're going to do. So these same people that believe they're fighting an oppressive government just empowered that same oppressive government to continue the oppression of human beings and to continue to strip our rights right away.
Let's dive down a rabbit hole just a tiny bit here that came to my mind while Stucci was just talking there. What do you think the chances are that these organized protesters that came into town, a lot of these provocateurs, as you referred to them, that's exactly right, the terrorists, weren't from the Twin Cities, weren't from Minneapolis necessarily. They come in there, they get everybody ginned up, and they get the rest of the population to go along with them. What do you think the chances are that this was orchestrated on purpose to keep us divided?
All right. So I always love using this example because when I was in that whole CIA rabbit hole of the different things the CIA did, one of the things, if you guys go back and do a lot of research or a little bit of research on the Iranian coup in 1953, that was the first official coup that the CIA has ever conducted. And, and this is from CIA documentation. So this isn't just Stucci in a corner coming up with a theory. What they did was they hired protesters to protest the government, anti-government protesters. And then what they needed, because what they were trying to do is create chaos. So then what the CIA did then is they went out and they hired counter protesters to protest the protesters, which then created fights between the two groups of protesters, at the same time creating governmental destruction. And then what the CIA did was they started doing this. They started flipping some dollar bills to the local media sources in Iran at that time. And then so the local media sources started bashing the local government, because what Iran wanted was they wanted to be a nationalistic country. They wanted all their oil money to go back to their people. I ain't got a problem with that. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think all countries should be entitled to what they have for resources before another country comes and takes it. And it didn't work out that way for Iran. So when you look at, they hired protesters, hired counter protesters, paid off media, and the ultimate result was British petroleum oil, which is still Iranian oil. And so when you look at the tactics the CIA used in 1953, and then you look at certain things that are happening today where we have protesters, we have patriots, we have anarchists, we have Antifa, we have agent provocateurs, there is no doubt in my blood, Chris, that I'm not saying that it was government orchestrated, but all I'm saying is that we've heard this so many times, you cannot let a good crisis go to waste. And they probably were part of amplifying this, because as long as they amplify it, we're distracted from the real problem. We're fighting against one another, and behind our backs, the politicians are doing what politicians do, and that is being little vampires and sucking our blood.
So have there been any reports, or has anybody thought that once a riot gets to be, however big, that other people who don't even care about the original intent of the protest, as we call that, are just going to be like, hey guys, let's go tear some things up because we're going to get away with it now. Other crimes build on this. Is that right?
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. It's opportunity. And,
right.
When you're looking at, like I said, the first day started out with authentic protesters, but then it's that build. And then what happens, Whiskey, is that, we start as American citizens, people like just us. We're just regular people that just want to be left alone. We just want to live our lives. We want to do our thing. We don't want to get involved. We don't want government controlling us or people telling us how we need to think. And when we witness this destruction, there's so many different aspects to this conversation, is that we get upset because we're witnessing the destruction of a city. We have pulled the original cause and we have flushed it down the toilet, because now everybody's focusing on their anger towards what's happening. So
Sure.
then people get pissed off. So then you have counter protesters that are going to go down and they're going to counter protest. Then you have militias that are on standby right now, locked and loaded. Then you got biker clubs. And then it becomes a black thing and a white thing, a thug thing and a cracker thing. And there it is. There's your racial divide.
Not so much on standby anymore. I read an article this morning that the militias were rolling into Dallas after a shop owner got killed trying to protect his own shop, got beaten in the head with a 2x4. He's dead now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got pictures. I put that video up on my Facebook page, and there's the thing is that I'm so sick of color. I'm so sick of talking about color. I'm so sick of talking about color. Half my friends are black. I love them to death. They know me. I don't change who I am. They don't change who they are. I make fun of them. I make fun of me.
That's right.
But, when you see videos of blacks terrorizing whites, we can't say anything about it.
No, it's a double standard.
Videos of whites terrorizing blacks, it's national news. And the biggest thing that I want is that we can all meet in the middle somewhere. and we can stop being hypocrites in our arguments, because that's all I've witnessed here the last few days, is that people are either completely for burning down the city. Here's another funny fact, is that and I love good people, and a lot of good people are having to come up with food, clothes, living essentials, because so many people in the cities are homeless because their houses got burned down from this anarchy.
Oh, that's horrible.
So now here are the same people that burnt these houses down are now sitting here trying to go find food for these people, which is a beautiful act. But, you know, why do we even have to get to that point? There again, government is sitting back laughing at this. They're coming up with all their plans and how they're going to control us like a bunch of pigs, while we're destroying our own people. We're destroying our own communities. We're destroying our own businesses. We're destroying our own homes. And now we're obligated to make sure that they have a safe place to sleep. We got to make sure that these babies have food in their stomach. And all of this could have been prevented if we would have stayed united like we were the very first day. And we would have went together as a solidified unit and protested the people that deserve the protesting, and not destroying innocent people's lives. You know,
Yeah.
you say anything, Whiskey, you're racist.
Oh, right. Well, one of the things that bothers me and is the blanket statement, you know, and I get it. The guy who, the cop, he deserves what he gets. He better get something. But as you see, I still back the blue, because this is not a blanket statement to me. This is an isolated incident, and it's happened more than once. But I'm not jumping on anybody's bandwagon on either side. I'm not going to do it. I'm not getting involved in picking sides. Let justice needs to happen. Yes.
This is so far than a current black and white issue. This is so much deeper than a law enforcement killing black people issue. I talked on the show this week where in 2017, 500 and some people, white dudes, were killed by cops. 230 some black dudes were killed by cops. And instantly I get the rebuttal that it's a per capita thing. It's this, it's that. It's everybody's justified because I don't want anything to go against my damn emotions, right? So then that takes us to a whole nother level. Where are we going wrong in our inner cities? Where's the black community going wrong, as in the single family homes, the struggle in their homes? Everything is not always the white man's fault.
There's no fathers in anybody's homes anymore.
That's the real statistic.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. You go into New York City, brother, for every 1,000 babies born, 1,100 babies are aborted. For every 1,000 babies born, there's 1,100 babies aborted. We're missing something here. And this is my point. This is so much beyond a local protest. This is so much beyond a local riot or even a national riot. There's core roots to this, and it's not just white cops killing black people. This is deeper. This is sinister. This is darker. And if we really dig into it, it's not a white and black thing or a black and white thing. This is a societal thing. This is a governmental thing. This is a human being issue. And the politicians, because they sold out to big corporations, because the decisions that they make have nothing to do with helping the American people, but the big farmers, the big corps, and the big banks, they sold us out years ago, brother. They sold us out in the 60s, if the 50s even. And we're slowly declining as a population. And we find all these things to blame everybody on it. And we're looking in all the wrong directions, bro.
Let me connect a couple dots here. And I know Melissa and I have talked about this kind of extensively. We've touched, I think we started to touch on Life in Progress one night, but I'm gonna jump tracks here. The word feminism to me can connect some of these dots. And look, the movement back in the day, okay, fine, but what it's turned into, and it's all about they don't need anybody. They can do it all themselves. We don't need the family dynamic. This is just coming up through time here. You take the father out of anybody's house. I don't care what color your family is. Take the father out of the damn house. You have issues. Mm-hmm. Boys need their dads.
Moms can't make boys turn into men. Not the band. They were good too. But I had this conversation last night too, because we know a lot of single parents, a lot of single moms, and they want to honor them on Father's Day because they do the job of a mom and a dad. And I was like, well, I understand that being a single parent is tough, but you're not playing the father role. I mean, I wasn't the most popular person yesterday when I said that, but no, you don't honor a mother on Father's Day. That's a totally
because fathers are not being honored on Mother's Day.
Yeah,
I know some single fathers.
I do too, and he was honored on Mother's Day.
Well, look, I get it, but I don't necessarily agree. I know either. I don't want to throw him under the bus, but he's listening right now, and he had custody of his kids, and he was a damn good father, but he's still not a mom. You know, his daughter, I don't know. I think he did a great job with her. But, you know, hey, everybody needs a mom. Every girl needs a mother, and every boy needs a dad. And I think when you throw all this...
What if they identify as a mom?
That's even more of a deeper psychological issue.
Okay.
You gotta wonder this feminism, whatever.
Yes.
This movement hadn't ever started, and women would have stayed making sandwiches.
Oh, geez.
Sandwiches, bro. My wife makes a great sandwich, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
If they'd have stayed making
triggered.
Be in this position now. I say no. I say the women should have stayed making sandwiches in the kitchen. But, you know, what?
Just to let everyone know who's
Judy
not
went to bed.
Familiar, bro, this is like an onward stick.
Shtick.
Now, is she making meatball sandwiches?
Yeah, did she make meatball sandwiches, bro?
With cheese?
Absolutely.
You know what I think it is? You know, I'm a huge observer of human behavior. And one thing I've learned, I mean, when we looked at the COVID thing and we had to shut down societies, right? Look at how people lost their shit. They lost their shit because they didn't have the rest of the world to accommodate to their emotions. Most people, and I say this all the time, most people cannot be alone with themselves in a room because they can't stand their thoughts. Most people can't look at themselves in the mirror.
Oh, that's offensive.
Dude, I know, bro. And when protesters, dude,
don't start with me right now.
Dude, a lot of people are protesting right now, and they don't even know why they're protesting. We need that exterior to comfort our interior. And when we don't have that exterior to comfort our interior, like dads want to be celebrated on Mother's Day and mothers want to be celebrated on Father's Day, we need that exterior attention all the time. And when we don't got it, we're going to go watch Jerry Springer because that makes us feel good about ourselves, because we don't know how to be our own individual anymore in our society. We don't know what it's like to go out and speak what we really want to say because we're too damn afraid that we're going to offend somebody, we're going to piss somebody off, or we're going to be blocked by somebody on Facebook.
I don't care about that.
For damn bid. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care.
Dude, I just need people to, you know what, stop caring so much. As long as you have logic in your argument, as long as you have researched what you're screaming about, scream the hell on. Preach the hell on. Even if we disagree with you, we will respect you more for having an educated opinion, even when we disagree with you. But the problem is too many people are too damn afraid of their own shadow that they need that comfort.
You said it right here with people are too damn afraid to be with themselves in a room. Well, I'm going to say confront themselves. Yeah, that's like one of the biggest things on earth to me is people can't confront themselves and their own fallbacks, if you want to be nice about it, you know? That's what, when you do that, that's how you grow. That's what growth is about. Internal growth. It's important. Guys, stick around right here. More Rocci Stucci on the other side. Off track.